subs. Actually, right now I'm at about 10,702 subs, but who's counting? Me. I am. Thanks to you, I recently passed 10,000 subs here on YouTube. It's been about 4 years, 300 videos, and I have learned so much about building an audience. Even if you're not a YouTuber, I do think that I have some insight I can share if you're trying to grow your platform on any of the social media channels. So here are a few important lessons I've learned over the last 4 years, 300 videos, and 10,000 subs. 10,702 subs. Lesson number 1, there are no hacks, tricks, or shortcuts. Sorry. There are all types of gurus on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok saying, if you want your channel to blow up overnight, here's what you need to do. They're lying. There are no secrets. It really is about creating content that people love, which is an incredibly nebulous and annoying answer, but it's true. This stuff takes time. It takes a lot of time, and because we live in this culture of instant gratification, most people don't want to wait that long. I waited, and I will continue waiting, and it pays off. And here's something else that's pretty cool that I realized. As my channel grows, it grows faster. It's growing faster over time. So whereas I used to get, maybe 30 new subs a month, now I'm getting about 500 new subs a month, give or take. If there were one exception to this rule, and I'm hesitant to even bring it up because I don't really recommend it, it would be running paid ads. You can run ads on any platform and increase your views or clicks or whatever. The problem is this is completely temporary unless you plan on paying to promote your content forever, which is really expensive. That's why I don't run any ads. Lesson number 2, SEO matters. SEO, search engine optimization. YouTube is a search engine, and increasingly over time, other platforms, including Instagram and TikTok, are prioritizing SEO because they want to make the content on their platforms more searchable. The keywords that you use when you speak, in your descriptions, your text overlay, your tags, the platforms are looking at these words because they're trying to figure out how to rank and categorize your content and who to show it to. Almost every video on my channel is based on a keyword that I researched in advance, and this has helped me tremendously in showing up in front of the right people. Now, with my channel growing and getting a little bit bigger over time, I am giving myself more breathing room, and I'm obsessing a little less about having every video be keyword driven, but it's still a consideration. When you're creating content and trying to grow a platform, any platform, you need to think strategically. There has to be some sort of plan. Lesson number 3, build the channel around you, not just the information that you share. I messed this one up so bad, and this is why SEO is kind of a double-edged sword. You need it, but you gotta be careful with it. So, like I said, I've relied on SEO and keywords a ton because they work. And in the past, I've also made a point of only providing the need-to-know, must-have information in my videos and nothing else. I only tell people what they absolutely have to know, and then I leave it at that. Again, because it works. Here's the downside. Most of my viewers find me in YouTube search, which is great. That's what you want. It's very powerful, but they find me because they're searching for a specific answer. A lot of people do end up subscribing. That's why my subscriber count is growing so quickly over time. However, while people do trust me to give them the information that they need, and it's very accurate, up-to-date, no fluff information, I've done very little over the years to get people to come back to this channel to see me. And that's bad because what I needed to be doing this whole time was building myself as a brand rather than looking at my YouTube channel as just a resource that people reference. It needs to be a brand. It needs to be an experience. People need to know me. They need to know you. I should have branched out more earlier on and put more thought into making this channel a place where you come to hang out and not a place where you just get the answers that you need and then leave. That's one of the reasons why, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons why you're seeing more variety in my videos lately. I'm spreading my wings a little bit and talking about things other than LinkedIn and freelancing rates and all the stuff I've been talking about for 4 years. I want you to come here for information, yes, but I also want you to come here for me. That's how you build a community. Don't be scared to share a little bit of yourself with your audience. Try new things, experiment. Sometimes it'll be great and sometimes it won't, and that's okay. Lesson number 4, ebbs and flows are totally normal. Oh man, last year during the holiday season, my numbers started to dip. And I already knew that during the holidays, a dip in traffic is normal because brands are spending more money on advertising. And that means that there's less space, less literal space in people's news feeds for organic content like mine, like yours. They're seeing more ads, which makes sense. But still, I couldn't remember the dip being that bad the year prior. So I was worried. I was starting to worry a little bit that my channel was dying, which is scary because for me, YouTube and LinkedIn are my strongest platforms. I had to remind myself to stay calm, stay focused, and keep showing up. So I did. And importantly, I feel like when we go into panic mode, one thing that we do is we think that we have to change everything we're doing and completely overhaul our approach. I didn't do that. I kept doing what I knew worked. Just to be on the safe side, I did try tiny things here and there, but in the back of my mind, I think I knew that this was a temporary dip, so there was no reason to go and change everything I was doing. Sure enough, fast forward a few months later, 5-6 months later, not only am I back to where I was before, I'm further ahead. Growth is never linear. It is never this. It is this, okay? That goes for YouTube, that goes for Instagram, it goes for all the platforms. Don't look at your metrics from day to day or even week to week. Look at them from month to month. This allows you to step back and really get a more accurate picture of how you're doing. Fluctuations are totally normal and healthy. Lesson number 5, follow the data. A lot of the focus for people like us trying to grow a platform somewhere is on creating content because that is where the majority of the grunt work lies. But I 100% believe that one of the reasons my channel has done so well is because I'm always paying attention to the numbers. At this point, I'm very comfortable with YouTube analytics and I know how to interpret those numbers to figure out what's working and what's not. How do people find me? What are they searching for? What videos are they sitting down and watching all the way through? And which ones are they watching a few seconds of and then they're leaving? What types of thumbnails catch their eye? And on and on and on. You can't know if what you're doing is working if you're not tracking and measuring it. And that goes for every platform. If you're not monitoring your metrics and using them to take informed action, then you're missing a huge piece of the puzzle and you are seriously hampering your progress. Lesson number 6, change is okay. It's great. I know what kind of content works for my channel. Videos about LinkedIn, about cold emailing, lead generation, and I've made tons of videos about those things. I do enjoy talking about those things, and I'm going to continue exploring those topics in upcoming videos. But here's the thing, and I can't remember if I mentioned it on this channel already or a LinkedIn post, but I had a rude awakening a couple weeks ago. My husband and I thought it would be funny to scroll back to my very first YouTube videos just to see the transformation. And this was when I learned that over the last 4 years, I have been talking about all of the same things, which is sad. Also, I'm getting bored. I can't keep talking about the same stuff forever. That's a scary concept for me, though, because like I said, I know what works. So when you know it works, but then you talk about changing it, that's intimidating. Very, very scary. But what's the alternative? The alternative is to keep doing what I'm doing and slowly but surely lose the passion and excitement and creativity I feel around the content that I create. When I look at it like that, it's kind of an easy decision. You are human. We change over time. Why would I be creating videos about the same things that I was talking about 4 years ago or even 1 year ago? That's bad. So I'm changing. I'm not getting rid of the old stuff completely. You'll still see videos about LinkedIn and all that jazz. But now on my channel, you're also seeing videos about work-life balance and mental health and breath work. I'm posting more vlogs. That word has always been really hard for me to say, vlog. I just think it's such a weird word. Anyway, on your channels, all of your channels, don't be scared to change. Don't be scared to try new things. And don't be scared to have opinions that are different from the opinions that you had in the past. I used to talk about hustling and working your butt off to make more money as a freelancer, and I stopped talking about that. I still maintain that a solid work ethic is non-negotiable. You have to have it. But my opinion on this has changed. Now I'm exploring the idea of making as much as you can, working as little as possible. I've changed and you've changed too. In fact, you are changing right now at this very minute as you're sitting here watching this video. And that is a beautiful thing. Embrace it. Lesson number 7, find a balance between showing up and going away. One of the simplest ways that you can succeed on social media is to just keep showing up. Because like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people don't have the patience to wait for this to really work, so they throw in the towel very early on. Okay, by default, you drastically increase your chances for succeeding online by just showing up. And fair warning, sometimes this stuff gets really boring, okay? You're gonna have days where you don't feel creative, you don't have any great ideas, and you don't feel like creating content, you don't feel like posting, but you gotta show up anyway. But it's also healthy to take breaks here and there, because you're not a machine, you're a human. Up until recently, I didn't miss a single week on YouTube. I didn't go more than a week without posting new content, like I was gonna get a trophy for it or something. And then one time, there was one week where I was like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing this. So I didn't. And guess what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. Nobody died, and my metrics didn't suffer one bit. I now know that little breaks here and there are totally okay and good even. Rest, recharge, let your brain take a little break, and then come right back. Your audience will still be here. Lesson number 8, you don't have to be like everybody else, including people in a similar field who are crushing it. I feel like that didn't make any sense, so let me explain. In this video, I talked about how I'm tired of trying to look sexy when I show up online. I'm not going to rehash that whole video. The link is below. Just go check it out when you're done here. What I will say, just for context, is that the trigger behind all of this was I saw women who were doing something similar to what I'm trying to do, and they dress a little more provocative, and I see that they're doing very well online. So I think, okay, well, maybe if I look more like them, I'll see the same success. That was the motivation behind that. However, and I talk about this in that video, that approach completely goes against my nature, so I finally stopped trying. One of the most powerful things that you can do as a content creator is unapologetically show up as yourself. One of the most liberating things that you can do as a human is to exist as the completely raw, unfiltered, flawed being that you are. Don't try to be like anyone. Don't try to act like anything. When you show up authentically as yourself, that's very magnetic. Not only are you going to attract more people to your channel, but you're going to attract the right people. And that's really important. Sure, I could show up here with my girlies hanging out or whatever, and I might get more attention, but from who? Probably a lot of men, understandably, but that's not the goal for this channel. I haven't spent countless hours building up this channel just to show more skin and get men staring at me. Lesson number 9, ease up on selling and self-promotion. Nobody wants to be actively sold to, okay? They're not going to come to your channel, whatever channel that might be, because they want you to sell to them. They want to be entertained or informed or inspired. That's the goal. You need to be providing value of some sort. In many of my videos, at some point, I mentioned my program, Revenue Spark, where I help freelancers build their businesses. But my videos could exist entirely on their own without any mention of my program. People can still go to all of those videos and walk away having learned something without me cramming my program down their throat. That promotion is more of an add-on, okay? It's like a little sprinkle of selling. Now, on the other hand, to give you a different kind of example, in almost every video, I ask you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. By the way, if you haven't already, if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, I'd be very grateful. The reason I do that a little more heavily is because it's a very small ask for you, and at the same time, it helps me a ton. Channels depend on your engagement. So by you taking 2 seconds to click the thumbs up button, you're doing something really powerful for me. I give you those 2 examples, promoting a paid product versus asking for engagement, like a like, because you want to be really careful with what you ask people to do, how aggressively you ask them, and how often you ask them. If you have paid products you're trying to promote, make people aware of them. Don't be scared to promote, because if you don't tell them about what you have to offer, they're not going to know. They're not psychic. So you can mention those things conservatively, but just be respectful of people's time and energy. Remember that if they are open enough and willing enough to view your content, you don't want to take that for granted and you don't want to abuse it. So be mindful of what you're asking people to do. Lesson number 10, do it because you love it. I know that growing a channel, especially in the beginning, can be very discouraging. When you first start creating content, it's going to be crickets. Nobody watched my videos in the beginning except my mom and my ex. But I learned very quickly that I love making videos. I love the scripting, I love recording, I love editing, I love every part about it. And I especially love that it's helped me connect with so many amazing people like you. And sometimes we get to talk more in the comments, sometimes you email me. It's just so powerful, and it's one of those instances where I'm like, okay, social media is okay. This is the side of social media that I like. Except when you guys leave nasty comments on my videos. I don't like that part. If I hated this, I wouldn't still be doing it. So that's one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. Find a platform that you like creating on and stick to it. To give you an example of something I can't commit to, or I could, but I won't, Pinterest. I use Pinterest as a consumer frequently, and I believe in how powerful it is because it's a search engine. But I cannot, for the life of me, get myself to commit to using Pinterest to promote my own work. I hate doing it. I hate it. I couldn't even tell you why, but I hate it. I finally got it through my thick head. Megan, Pinterest just isn't for you, at least not right now. So let it go. You know what it is? Actually, I take that back. I think I might know why I don't like Pinterest. It's like a handful of little things that you have to do. You have to create an engaging image, and then you have to write this tiny little blurb, and then you gotta link it, and then you gotta do this and that and that. It's like this list of random little things. And the only way, to be successful on Pinterest, you have to be really, really active. You have to be sharing a lot of pins and engaging with a lot of people. I think I more so enjoy sitting down and creating 1 or 2 really good YouTube videos every week. Long form content. I really like long form content. Maybe that's why I hate Pinterest so much. Anyhow, I'm rambling. Find something you enjoy and do it. And if you give something the old college try, like I did with Pinterest, and you still hate it, that's okay. You don't have to be on every platform. You probably shouldn't be. This stuff isn't easy. If it were, we'd all be famous on social media, and we're not, because it's hard and it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of trial and error. I look back at some of the things I've tried on my YouTube channel, and I have no shame. I'm proud of myself for being brave enough to try new things. But I look back on some of the old content I did that was a total flop, and I'm just like, oh God, what was I thinking? But that's part of the fun. I really encourage you to think closely about this culture we live in of instant gratification and how much it could be working against you as a content creator. Yes, you have to cater to other people's sense of instant gratification, but as a content creator, you can't do that or it will not work. That's all I got for you today. I hope you like this. If you think there is anything I might be able to help with, feel free to drop me a comment, or if you just want to say hello, I always love hearing from you. And thanks for going on this journey with me. Thanks for sticking with me. Every time you like a video or comment, or if you subscribed, all of those actions might seem very tiny to you and you might forget about them right after you do them, but they mean a lot to me. So please know that you have made my business and my life and my day better just by being here. And thank you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.